Shalom, 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 yasha'Allah. It's your boy, Brother Shamuel Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called, Their Inward Thought is that their houses shall continue forever. All right, first and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. All right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who have ruled well to the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and on the hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom to you all as well. All right, like I said, today's lesson is going to be called Their Inward Thought is that their houses shall continue forever. All right. And came across this article from ABC News. It says Trump again floats possible third term. It says the Constitution bars it, scholars say. So this devil is trying to continue and to try to stay in office, So, and he said it jokingly, but he's, serious. Right? This devil, they want power. All right. So it says, President Nero, right, has often mused, even joked about seeking a third term, but over the weekend, he made his strongest and most serious comments yet on a move that constitutional scholars, ABC News spoke with, call virtually impossible. It says, I am not joking, he told NBC News. Meet the Press moderator Christian Welker in a phone interview on Sunday. It says, before adding, it was far too early to think about it. It says, there are methods which you could do it. Nero said, it says, including a scenario in which Vice President J.D. Vance ran at the top of the 2028 ticket with Trump, with Vice President with Trump as his running mate, only for Trump to assume the Oval Office after the election. It says legal and election experts told ABC News any attempt to win another 4 years as president will be unprecedented breach of the Constitution. It says Trump may not want to rule out a third term, but the 22nd Amendment to the Constitution does. It says, said David Schultz, a professor at Hamline University and experts in constitutional law. It says the amendment states, in part, no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. It says it was ratified in 1951, years after President Franklin D. Roosevelt broke the two-term tradition set by George Washington and secured a third term as World War II was breaking out. It said it would be completely unprecedented for the president to openly defy the dictates of the 22nd Amendment. It says, and even more so, to attempt to run or serve again as president. Michael Gerhardt, a constitutional expert at the University of North Carolina. It says the threats and insinuations no doubt thrill his base, but there is no constitutional basis for the current president to try to serve as president after 2 elected terms. It says the only legal way for Trump to be able to run for a third term, experts said, would be to amend the Constitution. It says an incredibly unlikely outcome, as it would take 2/3 of both the House and the Senate, or 2/3 of the states agreeing to call a constitutional convention. It says then any change will require 3/4 of the states to sign for a ratification. It says this statement by Trump was brilliant in terms of capturing and diverting attention. It says his supporters love it and his detractors will rage over it. It says in the process, no one will talk about the price of eggs, tariffs, and a shaky stock market, right? It says, as for Nero's claim, it says that one of the methods could be to run as Vance's vice president and then be passed the baton. Experts point to the 12th Amendment from 1804 as a barrier. It says the 12th Amendment states that anyone who is eligible to be president is also deemed to be ineligible to serve as vice president. It says, said Barry Burden, it says the director of elections research center at University of Wisconsin. Let's see. It says this means that Nero could not serve as vice president, which is the post he would need for Vance's scheme to be executed. Steve Bannon, a fierce Trump ally, has also floated what he's called alternatives to allow Trump to run in 2028. Says Bannon in remarks at the New York Young Republican Club Gala in December has argued that he could run again as Trump's 2 terms in office were not consecutive. It says, since it doesn't actually say consecutive, I don't know. Maybe we do it again in 2028. It says, are you guys down for that? Schultz said that the argument doesn't have a sound legal basis. The overall limit of serving as a president for 10 years is both textual proof on the bar to run for a 3rd term and an indication of the intent of the congressional drafters that they did not want anyone serving more than 2 terms, Schultz said. It says he added that the measure was put in place to allow for a situation where a president dies more than halfway into the term. It says the vice president succeeds that person. The Constitution thereby allows for the vice president to serve out the remaining term and then serve two more terms for a total of 10 years. It says what happens if Trump tries anyway. It says Trump has already tested the bounds of the Constitution governing presidential power several times in the first months of his 2nd term. It says several Democrats viewed his comments on Sunday as another escalation against the rule of law. It says Democratic National Committee Chair Ken Martin, it says this is what dictators do. It says in the past, Republicans have largely played off Trump's musings about a 3rd term as a joke intended to rile his opposition, but just days after the inauguration, Republican hardliner Rep. Andy Orgs introduced a resolution calling for an extension of presidential term limits to allow Trump to seek another 4 years in the White House. It says as crisis could arise if Trump runs for president or vice president in 2028, the Constitution prohibits serving in office but not running for office. It says if Republicans nominated him, they would be betting that they can violate the Constitution and somehow allow him to serve if he wins. If Trump attempted to run, it would be up to election officials and then ultimately the courts to decide this. This played out in 2024 campaign when several states challenged his eligibility to seek the Republican presidential nomination under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment due to his actions around January 6th. It says the attack on the U.S. Capitol, the legal battle went to Supreme Court, which ruled in Trump's favor. If an ineligible person such as Trump is permitted to run knowing that he is not eligible to serve, it is a dangerous collision course in which the U.S. Constitution and the rule of law will be seriously tested, says James Sample, a constitutional law expert of Hofstra University, said Trump would lose in court should he attempt to run again. All right. So just a little bit about that. He's serious, man. This guy, he's the He's the epitome of this place, man, and the pride of this place. All right. The pride of this place who, and they think, like he said, he wants to, make this place great again. All right. And that's what he's going to keep trying to push. Okay. But understanding that, it's not going to pan out. All right. So let's get this right. Just got a couple of scriptures I'm going to close out. Psalm chapter 49 verse 11. It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. Right. And that's what this devil thinks. Right. He thinks he's going to continue on. Right. He's going to try to find the loopholes to try to continue to reign. All right. And you see, they called him a dictator. It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever and their dwelling places to all generations. Okay. It says they call their lands after their own names. All right. And you see, you can see it, on that micro scale, he's got all his little, Trump towers. He's got his little Trump hotel. Right. And he's thinking it's going to last forever. Right. And now he wants to get into a third term. Right. And then if it's a third term, then what more is stopping him for continuing to rule over him? All right. And this is how, this devil thinks. Okay. And they'll always try to work in, ways that they can kind of sneak in and do these things, This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness, which they have prescribed. All right. The NLT, it says, what sorrow awaits the unjust judges and who is, Salakia, and those who issue unfair laws, right? And that's what they're making it where they can try to write themselves back into it so they can continue to rule over, all right? And the scriptures tell you in Isaiah, 19, right? That's, Isaiah 19 and 4, right? It says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts. All right. And this fierceness, he's trying to continue with his rulership, right? Where he wants to ultimately reign forever. All right. And that's the pride, right, of the Edomites. Okay. That's the pride of Esau. All right. This is Obadiah, right? 1, of course. Verse number 3, right? It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Right? And that's his whole thought process, right? We're gonna know. Nobody's gonna bring us that. We're gonna make this place great again. All right? This dude is about to implement, these tariffs, that are about to take place. All right. With a couple of days, right? They're pushing this system, right? But their whole thing is that they're going to continue to rule, and they're going to rule forever. All right. They're going to rule that's their thought, right? It says, who shall bring me down to the ground? It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right, because the Lord is going to bring him down, right? Just as he did in ancient Egypt, right? In this modern day Egypt, right? He's going to harden the heart of Pharaoh, right? And the modern day Pharaoh will be Nero, right? AKA DJ. All right. So he's hardened his heart, and, he's, exalted him so he can cast him down. Right. So ultimately, the name of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi will reign through the earth. All right. When he brings this devil down. All right. And his nation. OK. And that's what's coming. All right. But they're trying to hold on, and they're trying to, every nation has had a chance to try to rule when you think about it, right? And this devil is trying to keep his rulership from ending, and there's times that are appointed, all right, and their time is up, all right. That's why I say in Revelation 12:12, the devil knows that he has but a short time, all right. So he's trying to do all these things, put these laws in, right, and ultimately, with this division and the stuff that he's saying is going to cause even greater rift than they already have, right? And that's why it talks about that, in Second Ezra, that neighbors shall fight against neighbors, right? Because they're greatly divided, from this man, and they're going to be, in civil unrest, all right. And you think about that, when that happens, then what? Then they're going to have to, uphold martial law, right? Which is going to basically halt the Constitution, and they're going to be able to bring in military and do all this stuff. And once that happens, then guess what? He can keep his rulership. All right. But these are the things, when he says them lightly, but we understand that this devil's serious, man. And this devil wants to rule forever. All right. The Lord has put it into his heart, to continue and do these things. All right. So I just wanted to do this quick lesson. Like I said, Lord's will, this was edifying. Right. With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Right. Peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad, a mighty shalom to the 144,000 men, and to the rest of the elect. Stay diligent, stay focused, keep praying for one another. Continue to pray, man, for the downfall, all right, of this place, right, and our enemies, right, and guess what? And the rise of of Yahawah Bahasham and the kingdom, right, of Yasha Allah, right. So with that, I'll say shalom. A ball.